Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, showing us in double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone. I want to say much peace, love, salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, sincerity and truth. This is Brother Ariala. And this will be the last segment on the Fruit of the Spirit series, part 9. This one is temperance. This particular characteristic of the fruits of the Spirit is an extremely important one. It brings everything home. It kind of rounds everything out, especially living in Babylon the Great, where we live in a society that pushes indulgence. It pushes decadence. It pushes basically for you to, cope and feed your fleshly desires at all times, whether it's food, whether it's sex, whether it's TV, whether it's music, in whatever way. This place is filled with idol worship and it's constantly sensual. And so, when you listen to music, when you watch TV, movies, and you're being influenced to be highly, highly, highly impulsive, highly decadent, and just carnal as hell. And so temperance is extremely important for you to be a well-rounded spiritual person. And when you look this word up here in the etymology, it says temperance as a noun: self-restraint, forbearance, moderation, okay? Sobriety, discretion, self-control, to moderate, right? In the late 14th century, it says as mildness, gentleness, also observance of a balanced or moderated course of action. And that's what we don't see. You know what I'm saying? We see basically everybody overindulging in, what they eat, what they drink, their sexual desires, porn, just everything, bro. It's just overboard. Everything is overboard in this society. So developing a mindset and a spirit of temperance is critical to not be consumed by the flesh in this society. When you go to Romans, the 6th chapter and the 12th verse, it says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield," how you yield when you're driving, you yield to something. It says, "Yield yourselves unto the Heavenly Father, unto the Most High," right? And this is why we always tell brothers, like, whenever you're making the decision, whenever you're thinking about something, what does Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai want? That should reign in your judgment whenever you're going to make a decision. If you feel like Yahweh Shai be ashamed of your action, you should yield. Okay? It says, "But yield yourselves unto the Most High as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High." Okay? It says, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." Okay? So as we have this opportunity to come closer to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai because of the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai made, we should yield unto the Heavenly Father in our thoughts and get control over our flesh. Okay? We have to get control over these fleshly desires. You have to have mastery over your lusts and develop discipline. All right? And those of you that fear the Heavenly Father, you fear the judgment of the Heavenly Father, that helps you maintain a level of discipline because you're afraid of the consequences. There's a lot of people that have no fear of the Most High whenever they make decisions. They only are thinking about their own personal fleshly happiness, what they want, their feelings, their emotions. They don't care about what the Heavenly Father says. And we can't be those people that make excuses in our mind to justify the BS. Because that's what happens. Cognitive dissonance will happen when you want to do what you want to do instead of what the Heavenly Father has prescribed. You will go and you'll make a whole excuse in your head on why you should be doing what you're doing. Knowing it's some bullshit. Knowing it's wickedness. We can't be that way, man. At least we get caught up out here. Okay? 2 Peter 1:5 says, And besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to your virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, man. That temperance, that discipline, that mastery over your desires, man, okay, leads to having a patient spirit. You're not all over the place with your emotions because of the flesh, your desires and your flesh pulling at you so hard. Okay? You have that self-control to where sin doesn't just rule your mind and your heart, to where you feel like you're missing out on something in this world. You have to have mastery over those impulses, the destructive ways of Babylon. You women just running from dick to dick, monkey branching, because this world told you you free, And the same with the men. No self-control. We can't be that way. We have to have a higher expectation of ourselves underneath Yahweh Shem Yahushua. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24, one of our favorite scriptures, says, Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Let's get that word temperate, just to drive this home. Temperate in all things. Mm-hmm.
Strong's G 1467. Ekratuamai. Ekratuamai.
Ekratuamai, to be self-controlled, right? Continent, to be able to hold, right? To exhibit self-government, conduct, oneself temperately. In a figure drawn from athletes who is preparing themselves for the games, abstain from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence. Right, like a fighter getting ready for a fight, he stays away from his family. Right, no drinking, no eating greasy, fatty foods. Right, we have to be that way in the spirit, man. Especially in this society where you're being inundated constantly with wicked thoughts, wicked circumstances. Women all on social media, niggas in your DM. All you do is get offered dick all day. Don't matter if you're a 10 or you're a 2. That's why these fat girls, ugly girls think they baddies, because all day sex is thrown in their face. Right? Bad foods. It's everything, man. I use the sex thing because it's such a big one. But it really is just everything. This whole society. Us in this truth have to develop high levels of temperance. And mostly it's just cutting off a lot of stuff, man. Like certain things you just don't watch. Certain things you just don't go around anymore. You just don't even put yourself around it, man. Okay? It says in verse 25, every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate, self-controlled in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, right? But we an incorruptible. See, they're doing it to receive a reward in this world, this life. That's corruptible, that's gonna pass away. But we're looking for an incorruptible, a heavenly crown, right? I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, right? So fight I not as one that beateth the air, right? But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So we're under control. We're not running as uncertainly. We have form. We're not fighting as one that beateth the air, right? We have our stance. We have our technique. We have our understanding. We keep our body, and we move in the way that the Spirit dictates. We're not just randomly doing things, impulsively doing things. Right? We stay up underneath the order of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is a key to temperance. Okay? This is Sirach chapter 18, Verse 30, it says, "Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites." Right? A lot of people, a lot of brothers, you want to be in the scene. You want to be the man. Okay? You want to have 15 wives. Mm-mm. You know? You want to make $80 million. But what will that lead to? Will that keep you on the path of Yahweh Shem Yahushua? We have to be mindful of these things. It says, if thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee. Take not pleasure in much good cheer, neither be tied to the expense thereof. Okay? Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, using your credit card to go out, travel, jet set, right? When thou hast nothing in thy purse, for thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life and be talked on. See? Living beyond your means. Right? And this is what this world teaches, man, to flex. And that's what Jake does. Jake flexes shit that they don't even got. And then when they end up broke, everybody talks on them. Right? Temperance is key. Temperance is very, very key. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 verse 1. It says, "Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. I loved her, and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse. I was a lover of her beauty." Right? Talking about wisdom, Sophia. Okay? "In that she was conversant with the Most High. She magnifieth her nobility. Yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of the Most High, and a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? If a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times." Okay? And this is the nature of wisdom. She'll give you that mindset of prudence, that mindset of temperance. These things are key to get all the things that we want in this life, as far as women and riches and whatever objects. Wisdom is key. Wisdom is first to get all of that. That's why King Solomon prayed for that. And he was blessed with the most opulent kingdom in the history of the world. You know? Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, man. Temperance. 2 Peter chapter 2. Start at 19. "Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure, having this seal: The Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach Yahushua depart from iniquity. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, some to honor and some to dishonor." Okay? So you got all types of vessels in this great house, right? "If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor," right? "Sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. Flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace, with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Okay? So we got to flee youthful lust, man. Let's get this word lusts. Youthful desires. Because that's what this world is, man. It's just getting you chasing after things of the flesh. And as you fixate yourself on those things, you lose focus on what's
Strong's
right.
G, 1939. Epithumia. Epithumia.
Epithumia says your a desire, a craving, a longing. Desire for what is forbidden. Lusts. So we got to flee youthful lusts, man. Being in this truth, you put off a lot of things of this world so you can focus on your walk with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's temperance. You know? That's temperance. Yeah, you might be able to have this woman and that woman, but maybe it's not necessary. Yeah, you can go have a drink of wine and this, but maybe it's not necessary. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. We have to practice temperance in a world that's constantly trying to get you to chase your personal lust, your personal happiness. Okay? That whole thing, are you happy? We're not here to be happy. Why you want to be happy in hell? What's wrong with you? We should want to practice discipline to get out of this situation that we're in. Okay, so temperance is key, man, and it takes you being able to be self-critical. You got to be able to look at yourself. You got to be able to take admonishment. You got to be able to be told about yourself. You got to know when you're going too far. Those are key aspects of being able to tap into a spirit of temperance. Okay, so. Yeah, I just want to touch on that, man. You know, that'll wrap up the fruit of the spirit. Remember, these are the key aspects of evidence of salvation. Okay, so Lord willing, the series was edifying, man. You know, if I think about some more things to kind of touch on this topic, I will. That being said, I'm gonna say, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Nakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, salutations to Yakim out there. Pushing word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, sincere and true. Shalom.